Good morning. Today should be a good day, hopefully. It should at least be better than yesterday, because yesterday I got my motorcycle stolen. So, you know, it's not a very high bar to beat. Anyways, I got some editing I gotta do today. I kind of want to try on my new system. Let me just crack open some of the morning packages. Oh, these are memory cards I'm gonna be using for the C500 Mark II. That should be coming in soon. And look at that write speed though, 1200 megabytes per second. Holy crap. That's 1.2 gigabytes of writing per second. Whoa, this is a package I don't know. It's a surprise. Oh, this is from Lume Cube. You know, they make little lights. Hey, Gene, enjoy the Lume Cube panel. Ooh, there it is. Whoa. What I like about this is that this source itself isn't tiny, you know? Like Lume Cube sent me some lights before, and the other lights that they have, they're kind of small. They're like this big, so it ends up being a pretty harsh light. But this one, relatively much bigger. It's actually dope because as you raise the power level, see how as I go up, it tells you how much battery life you'll have left up over here. 55 minutes of battery life at 55%. So it's got a little 5-volt output, so you can use this to charge other devices. That's pretty smart. You know what? This is actually sick. I would actually use this. And also this carrying pouch that it comes with, it is insanely soft. Okay, that's, oh my. And finally, this is what I've been waiting for. Matty Hapoya actually convinced me to get this. He made a video about it, which I'll link right there. I mean, he was basically in the same situation I was. He had the top of the line, older 15-inch MacBook Pro, and then tried out the 16-inch, and this was much, much faster. This is pretty much maxed out. I think I spent about $4 grand on it. Only thing I didn't max out was the hard drive, because that would have made this laptop like $6 grand. So I went with the 4 terabytes. That's still a lot of money for a laptop, you know? But honestly, I spend most of my time on this computer for work. Oh my god, the screen is so beautiful. It hasn't been touched or smudged yet. No one's looked over my shoulder and been like, hey, what's that? And touch the screen. Anyways, I'm gonna throw this on the charger, get through the setup screen, all the updates and all that stuff. A little unboxing ASMR for you. All right, so the updates have started, so this might take a minute. Meantime, let me show you something. See, what's dope about this is that it takes up very, very little space. That's it. What is that, like 6 inches off the wall? And it just kind of sits like that. Now, let's see how long it takes for me to unfold it. Done. What'd you guys think? I've been telling you guys I'm gonna get into shape. This is how I'm gonna start. I actually have a gym membership. I just don't go. It's still gonna take another 27 minutes to go, so time for a quick workout. I know there's supposed to be a couple like smart modes, but I'm pretty basic. I just kind of want to just turn it on and go. It's got a little screen right there. Top speed, 6.2 miles per hour. So the other mode that's actually pretty neat is when you slide this down. So now that it's flat, it's more of a walking pad than a treadmill. So I can slide this underneath my standing desk and I could just do a light walk while I work. Is it practical? Am I actually gonna be able to get any work done if I'm trying to walk? I don't know. We'll find out. Oh, phone call. Hello? Telemarketers, man. Just always say, just take me off your call list. That actually works pretty well. If you just hang up on a telemarketer, they just keep calling you back. Just say, please take me off your call list, and they stop. So usually. All right, looks like it's all ready, and everyone keeps talking about the keyboard on this thing. And yeah, I mean, it feels way different. Now I gotta install all the software like Adobe Premiere and all that stuff on here. So I just finished up my first edit on the new computer. Whoa, the render just finished. This actually, yeah, I think it's faster. You know, when you spend so much money on a new laptop, you kind of want to be like, oh, it's so much faster. So hopefully that's the case. By the way, I highly recommend labeling these power bricks because they pretty much look the same. And I accidentally traveled with the wrong power brick that looks identical. Didn't work on my MacBook Pro because it belonged to like a smaller one. And I ended up having to buy a brand new power brick while I was traveling because of that. I'm gonna put MacBook 16. It's gonna slap that on right there. Easy. And if you don't have a label maker, highly recommend this one. This one's like less than 10 bucks. Best $10 I ever spent. Link in description. If you buy it using my link, I'll make like 30 cents off it. It's pretty good money.
All right, so check this out. I'm getting a workout while I work. How awesome. Man, if I can be on this thing like a third of the time I'm editing, I'd be in such good shape. Now, one of the things I want to do to test out the power of this new 16-inch is open up a project that drove me absolutely nuts on the 15-inch, which is the Alexa Mini LF video that I'm loading up here. And we shot that in 4.5K, but it was, I think, 4:3. So it has more pixels than usual vertically. We also shot it in ProRes 4444 on the Alexa Mini LF. And I remember just trying to deal with any of that footage was like a nightmare. I ended up making proxies, which I don't know. Are you guys interested in a video about how to make proxies? It's basically like a smaller version of the full resolution. So you just edit the super low res version, you hit a switch, and then it replaces all the low res footage with the high res. I don't know if you guys want a video about that. Take that poll right there. Let me know. I might make that video or I might not. This is giving me flashbacks just looking at it. Just remember how slow this computer was. Now looking at this footage, I have it at quarter resolution and it's still playing a little bit choppy. And I think that's because I actually transferred it to a slow hard drive. Now I usually work off an SSD like the Samsung T5 or this thing. And these are a lot faster than these slow drives. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna transfer the files from there onto this fast SSD and try to edit off this a little bit. If this is too slow, I'm just gonna copy it from here onto the computer's desktop because that's probably gonna be the fastest. So this is gonna take a minute. Let's go into time-lapse mode. All right, so now I'm working off of this external SSD, and just like to transfer about 7-8 minutes of footage was almost 100 gigabytes of ProRes 4444. So just to give you an idea of how massive these files are. All right, so let's see how playback is. Oh wow, look at that, full resolution, and it's playing back fine. And earlier it probably just didn't play back because the bottleneck was in the hard drive itself. But with an external SSD, or obviously the internal SSD that's built into the computer, it's handling this just fine. Before you go out and buy a brand new computer, I would check to make sure that your hard drive's fast enough first. All right, so I'm just gonna start editing this video as I was before, and I'll see how this computer handles it, because this footage for sure was giving me a real hard time on the 15-inch. By the way, here are the specs for the 15-inch I had, which was giving me a lot of trouble. And this is again the specs for the 16-inch. I added a lot to the footage. So yeah, I'm gonna just keep cutting up some of this footage and we'll see how it reacts. Time-lapse mode, let's do it. Alright, so get this, I did that entire edit in full resolution. I didn't even have to dip it down to half or quarter, and I can easily drop it into half. I didn't even need to do that. So honestly, I'm impressed. I guess it's not a complete shock that a laptop is super powerful. Like I made a video about the Razer laptop, which was super fast, and we still use it a lot. Justin uses it mostly because he's like a PC guy. He helps us edit some of the videos, but I just spent so long on the Mac platform that it was kind of hard for me to switch back to PC. The thing is, remember, you don't have to have a super powerful computer to edit as long as you learn how to make proxies. That's not so bad, but that's just an extra step. And you guys know I try to turn things around real fast for YouTube, so any step that I can eliminate to kind of speed up my workflow, I'll take it. And I just walked over 3 miles during the edit, which is great. I definitely feel a little bit tired. I mean, 3 miles, that's awesome. I'm getting a workout while I do an edit when I usually would have just been hunched over the chair like this. You'll see once I get ripped, I'm just gonna do all my videos shirtless. I think that's how I'll attract more female demographic. Right now, only 4% of my viewers are female, so I just gotta get that 8-pack going, and I'll be like, yeah, in today's Premiere tutorial, we're gonna hit the space bar. Ooh. After this, I have to edit something that's in 6K red raw footage. So here's the results of how it was like editing the 6K red footage. So yeah, overall, I would say this 16-inch MacBook Pro is noticeably faster, so that's great. And I ran a few more speed tests on Premiere side by side, and on average, the 16-inch was about 43% faster, so that's definitely a noticeable boost in speed. And having that 4TB drive built into here is nice nice because that's big enough to where I can store and cut my entire projects on the internal hard drive. As far as the size of it, it's just barely bigger than that 15-inch. Like if you were to hand this to me and tell me that this is the 15-inch, I'd probably believe you. The slightly bigger real estate on the monitor itself is also a nice touch. But when it comes to screen size, I'll take every inch I can get. I should not have said that. It looks like the 16-inch is replacing the 15-inch, so it's not like you could even get a 15-inch anymore anyways. But maybe if you already have a 15-inch, do you need to upgrade to the 16-inch? It's definitely faster and nicer, but the 15-inch can be so fast on its own that unless you're doing heavier projects, you don't really notice it. But I'd say as soon as you edit anything over 4K is when you're really gonna start noticing an increase in performance in this guy. If you're just trying to cut some basic YouTube vlogs or whatever and you're shooting in HD, you could probably even get away with the 13-inch. Once you start getting to 4K territory, I'd say maybe look at the base model of the 16-inch. I mean, even the base model of the 16-inch looks pretty good. You get a pretty good processor, still get enough RAM, a decent enough graphics card. And then if you have, $50,000 to spend, then maybe get that Mac Pro. It does start about $6,000 though, which is actually, not too far off from this MacBook Pro. I'd be curious to see how this MacBook performs against this Mac Pro, like the base model. Oh dang, even the base model, 3.5 gigahertz, 8 core. Okay, I guess I can see why these are so 28 core. What the hell does that even mean? Oh, look at how much RAM you can throw in. Oh, you gotta have 1.5 terabytes of RAM, which is a $25,000 add-on, by the way. And then when it comes to graphics card, the base model has 8 gigabytes, which is what this MacBook Pro has. But then for one small payment of $10,800, you could get 2 Radeon Pro Vega Dual 32 gigs each. Whoa, can the software even keep up at this point? If I just add everything, look at that. $53,000. Honestly, I don't even know what kind of power that is. Like, what would that feel like editing on this machine? I do want to test that one day. But anyways, that treadmill I was using for a little bit is called the Walking Pad R1, I believe. It's on Indiegogo. I put over 10 miles on it so far. And if you have a standing desk, which I also recommend, it's a really nice addition to that because it really doesn't get in the way that much while you're working. Like, it's very easy to forget that you're exercising. And then you look down and you go, whoa, holy shit. I just walked 6 miles. But here's their Indiegogo campaign. Now get this, their goal was to raise about $20,000 and they raised almost $1.2 million. That's, what is that? 5,825% their goal. So obviously I'm not the only one that thinks it's kind of cool. I think you could nab it for, what is it? $429 right now for the early bird. I wouldn't say it's the highest quality treadmill I've ever felt. I mean, it's more built to be compact, but it's not bad either. It kind of feels like right there in the middle to where, it's nice that it's compact and the quality is good enough to where it feels like it'll last a long time. But yeah, I'll link it down below if you're interested in checking that out. Oh, also remember this Lume Cube thing that we unboxed earlier? Wanted to do a little bit more testing with it before I officially recommend it. And yeah, on high output, which is bright, look at this. It lasted a full hour and 40 minutes with the built-in battery. And on its lowest setting, which is still, somewhat, it's gonna help you out in many cases. But yeah, from room temperature on constant on all the way from full to dead, it took just about 7 hours to the minute. So that's actually really impressive. You could almost use this as like a camping light, And as I mentioned, it's bicolor, so you get your warm light, but you can also switch it to daylight. So see how it's turning white now? So pretty sweet. Thanks Lume Cube for this. I'll throw it in the description as well. Let's read some comments. Yesterday, I hit 500,000 subscribers, so that was super exciting. Will says, the Harley Davidson Roadster is an amazing motorcycle. My dad had one and I was hoping he'd give it to me, but he sold it. I love dual sports or enduros like the one I got stolen from me because they're super awesome and nimble. But then, like taking the highway down a shore or something like that, that'd be perfect on a Harley. I don't know, they're opposite bikes, but I kind of want both. The J. Kane said, held my breath for the whole kickflip sequence. Yep, in case you haven't seen my last episode, I attempted another kickflip, even though that's exactly how I broke my arm. And I have it on camera, by the way, in case you haven't seen the video of me breaking my arm and want to. Boom. That video got flagged for being inappropriate for all ages, probably because I showed my arm being broken. The head explosion woke up the baby. I wasn't ready. I actually love that effect. Should that be my closing to every video? Just boom.